Okay, we're back, and we are going to do a couple of these battle CDs, because we've got a couple extras now here, right? We got a Zangoose and Credilli. Suspicious link. I hope that it's telling you that my links are suspicious, because that would be funny as hell. But perhaps that's just me. Now, we've got one thing on our side for dealing with this, and that is that if Credilli is going to try to move in a do poison direction, we cannot get poisoned because Zangoose is, because it's a mongoose Pokemon, it's immune to poison. Because of the, poison, the snake versus mongoose thing, right? And what's our time limit here? Unlimited turns. Okay. So do you have anything special going for you? It's got an item. The item is a scope lens. Okay, so that gives us more crit chance. Which goes nicely with Slash, I suppose. Let's try throwing some rock smashes out there, because that can lower the target's defense if we're very, very lucky. God, it recovered almost all of that, and only almost, though. Which I find kind of funny. As barriering up. Ooh, that did sort of negate our entire everything here. So I think our better bet is honestly just boost. And mash Slash until we actually get there. Okay, I was gonna say, does this thing actually have, like, a way of hitting us? And it does. Because it's either that, or we don't land a crit Slash. Okay, good. I mean, I guess we could also, like, try to spam Flamethrower that it is neutral to, and it's coming off of our, like, 2 points of special attack. Excuse me. Yeah, okay. So that was, like, 3 or 4 slashes, and for our having a boosted crit rate on the move and our enhanced crit rate from our item, we got nothing. Okay, sure. Absolutely diabolical luck. I mean, yeah, so the advice is literally just fish for a crit, dipshit. I don't know, maybe making this RNG base is a bad idea. On the other hand, I guess we'll just boost and we will, I guess, spam Rock Smash afterwards and see if that gets us anywhere. Because again, somehow I'm also losing the 10% on that dropping defense. Like, I'm just not allowed to get any sort of luck-dependent thing on this run at all, which is unfortunate. Yeah, you're at +4 defense. So your defense is triple, my attack is quad. There we go! See? Was that so hard, game? Oh, and there's the defense down as well. Just to really push the point home a little bit. My attack is still more buffed than its defense, so... Yeah, now we get to fish for more of this, I guess. Recover. It has... Of course it has effing recover. It's... good. I get to go back to fishing. Cool. If I wanted to do that, I'd just stream like web fishing or something. Jeez. Oh well, maybe we'll actually get the... Yay, we got some defense drops. That's something. Which forces it to waste more turns on barrier. We're at least pushing in that direction. Unfortunately, it does have an attack that it can use when it sets up, which makes me slightly sad, but whatever. I would try fishing for a burn with flamethrower to try to equalize things, but... Well, first of all, I don't need to now, and second of all, that's a 10% chance anyway. That's less likely to happen than the defense drops from Rock Smash. That's less likely to happen than the crits after our boosts. So, you know, classic making it a thing of luck. And that's the challenge. That's slightly bothersome. Yay, a super potion. Yes, I get it, game. You're telling me to heal during battle more often. And theoretically, maybe I should, but also, fuck that. The Slowpoke family feud. Is one of them going to be dressed like Steve Harvey? That'd be strange. So let's see what we're actually working with here, because I guess the worry here is Sharpedo using Thrash, which at least will confuse it eventually, even though it hits pretty hard. This still isn't like later era Thrash where it's as strong as Fire Blast. Oh wait, no, this guy is the one who has the Slowpokes. Okay, what do we got? Sharpedo literally only has Thrash, and you have Skill Swap, which would let you trade Levitate for one of these guys' abilities. Oh, I think I get what I'm supposed to do here, actually. Hold up. Steal Slowbro's Confuse Ray? Or Confuse Ray, pardon me. Steal Slowbro's own tempo. Assuming that that's the one that has it. Otherwise, I gotta go, okay, who's got own tempo? Because I know that that's the thing that one of these guys can have. And then, ouch. Ouch. And then we just feed it to Sharpedo. Oh, I don't get to see what ability I have. Good. That's helpful. That's real good. Well, I'm just going to have to assume that we did good then. Zemo that you made large. I see. It's the sunfish, the lava sunfish, rather. Okay, so I was wrong. We targeted Slowbro with that, so this time we target Slowpoke instead. And that should get us the ability that we require. I think the idea would be more to try to scout it with Confuse Ray, but this works fine too. Still, it works. You get attacked by a lot of those things in that part of the game, so fair enough. Especially just the sheer group size. Ooh, boy. All right, let's yank Slowpoke's own tempo this time. And then we get to have just the most boring battle ever, because I'm pretty sure all these Pokemon literally just have confusion. But also, wow, that Slowbro has hops. Holy crap. That was a big jump. Oh yeah, that's pretty fun when that happens. Let's try pain splitting on I'll target Slowking, I guess. Because thrash targeting is random. Oh, that's less useful than I was hoping, but oh well. Pain split, for those of you who have never seen the move, which is quite possible. It's a rather obscure move, I would say, for those of you who aren't like into competitive Pokemon or anything. Pain Split is sort of a Scales of Justice effect where it's like, hey, yeah, and there I go using an even more obscure Worms weapon to describe it. It balances yours and the target's HP. It's useful in some circumstances because it's technically a form of healing that ghosts can have. But it is still very subjective in its usefulness. But I mean, hey, if you hit something like a Blissey with it, that'll get you back a mountain of HP. Unfortunately, I think most things that use Pain Split are not really physical attackers, so then you still are dealing with the fact that you've got, like, the chunkiest Pokemon in the game on an attack stat that doesn't really matter against it. Yay, a full heal. Hooray. The last one we've got... Well, no, not the last one. We've got quite a few more. Number 19. Oh, that's ridiculous, I think. Okay, we got a Rhydon and we got a Golem. So, between these two, Golem is the one that has the lower... Golem is the one that has the higher attack stat, pardon me. So, we're just going to protect Explosion. And we're going to see what happens. And what's going to happen is probably that Manectric is going to eat shit and Muck is not, if I had to guess. Boom! Meanwhile, Don doesn't care. Oh, never mind. And Muck has been mopped the floor with. Now we swap in Flareon. Because the name is suggesting to me that we got to do some fire stuff here. And in this case, we'll Flamethrower on Flareon and attempt to overheat the Gengar, who is Will-O-Wisping Rhydon. Unfortunate, because I would really rather that target Flareon for reasons of it being able to get a boost, but these things happen, you know. Oh god, it's only 2 turns, huh? That is pretty rough. Alright, let's try this again. I'm still thinking that bomb strats are kind of a thing here. I can't remember if... I'd have to check if Rhydon is faster or Golem, though, to really be able to do that the way I would like to. I think Golem is faster in this case. I'm also assuming on some level that the stats have been distributed. Yeah, Golem is marginally faster. So here's what we're going to do. We're sending in Flareon to deal with that. So we're targeting Golem with Flamethrower. But of course, Golem is going to be gone in a second. So Flareon will enter that position and we'll get Flamethrowered. And, yeah. Oh, fuck my life. So much for that, but I guess we're putting the bird in instead. I haven't actually done a regular... God, I did actually forget to put Quest 64 Fire Wind Challenge on there, didn't I? But otherwise, I did not actually do a vanilla Quest 64 run otherwise, so... That is probably not going to be in the main... That wouldn't be in the main list for that reason. All right, I updated that real quick because I had a second while I'm waiting around for this to get anywhere. Thankfully, we have Wing Attack on Swellow. Oh, hell yeah! Giving it to me for free. Oh. I actually forgot to put Eternum Quest on there as well, didn't I? I just must have glossed over because I was just looking through the VODs that I posted on YouTube, and I know I posted it on there. Is the bot off? The bot's off. Wow, okay. This is what I get because I shut the computer off every stream. Well, that'll fix itself in a second because it's loading. I will be right back. You would think that after a few weeks, I'd get used to having to use an extra piece of software when I start a stream, but I've managed to get, like, unused to it somehow. It's a very special talent of mine to have a dysfunctional brain like this. Anyway, it's working, everybody. In fact, here, I'll prove it. I was waiting for it to not function, and I would just be, like, upset. One of these days, Shaq Fu will probably happen, yeah. Number 27, Big Bang, sorry. Alright, so what do we got to... We have a Pokemon that's just obviously going to absolutely drop to an explosion, and another Pokemon that's just going to drop to an explosion, to be honest with you. Porygon 2 is, in more recent years, become infamous for being one of the, like, absolute best defensive Pokemon in more competitive contexts. And also kind of for being among the Pokemon that is the least helped by having an... Well, let me reword that. It's one of those Pokemon that is basically like... It gets the least out of having any sort of evolution. It gains something by having an evolution by virtue of the fact that you can feed it a, you can give it an Eviolite, but by the standards of basically Porygon Z is kind of crap, is what I'm getting at here. Oh, goddammit, Conversion 2. Can you work, please? And the answer is no, but I don't remember what Conversion 2 actually properly does, but that killed us. Unsurprisingly. However, I did force a draw. Unfortunately, that's not worth anything, but it would be quite funny if it was. And of course, this is also an era where draws just don't exist in single player. If you force a draw, you black out. But yeah, Porygon Z is kind of not considered to be good, basically. As a general rule. But Porygon 2 is actually just a monstrous tank if you equip an Eviolite to it. And again, remember that for anybody who's like, actually, I can't... I'm talking about, like, among the sweatiest people you know. And also, anytime I say, oh, a Pokemon isn't good, most Pokemon do have some sort of, like, weird niche they can fulfill. It just often is extremely bizarre. So, for example, Porygon Z can use, in Gen 7, it can use the normal type Z Crystal and Hyper Beam, and it can just drop an atomic bomb on somebody. Exactly once. So my goal here is to have Hitmonlee tackle Porygon 2, and it's going to use Conversion 2 and hopefully become, like, Ghost type would be best. Steel is also pretty okay. Rock type. That might not be ideal. What we can do this is, assuming that we live self-destruct, then we live this, yeah. We've survived the battle by only taking like 90 damage from self-destruct. Because Porygon 2 is surprisingly stout. Meanwhile, Dusclops is able to be affected by normal and fighting type moves because of Hitmonlee doing its thing. So, neener, I guess, is the only appropriate response here. But yeah, Porygon 2 is like that. There's a couple of other Pokemon that are just like, haha, I have this evolution now, so I can equip Eviolite, and my evolution doesn't actually do anything. Dusclops actually is another one like that, I believe. Infamously, Dusknoir is kind of trash. I think Eviolite Chansey is still more widely used than Blissey is. We gotta stop some explosions here. I don't know if there's a whole lot of others. I know that Magneton sees use with Eviolite and Rhydon occasionally as well. Mostly because I think that by virtue of being evolutions of already maxed out Pokemon that were added in Gen 4, the Gen 4 evolutions don't really add a whole lot. Like in terms of stats, and for a lot of them in terms of moves either. So you just kind of get to go, oh, well. Meanwhile, Discord is harassing me about my Nitro ending again. Thank you, guys. I'm not re-upping it, you schmucks. Yeah, so Rhydon doesn't really... Rhyperior doesn't really gain a whole lot of moves that Rhydon doesn't. And... as a result, holy shit, dude, calm down. Hold up, let's make sure that I'm targeting the correct dude here. Yeah, we'll use Surf, actually. And you can use Swift, and I'm sure this will be a good idea. Oh, gross. Maybe I should have taken that out last turn for sure. With Strength or something. So I think Rhydon gets better defense than Rhyperior once it has Eviolite. Magneton and Magnezone are kind of the same way, especially because Magneton already hits pretty good, if I recall correctly. Magneton also has the added advantage of having Magnet Pull. So it can just kind of make an opponent... well, it can just kind of make an opponent... an opposing Steel type get locked in. The most famous thing that you ever used to see out of Magneton was using it back in the day when Skarmory was just one of the most common things that you would ever see, and it would just grab onto Skarmory and be like, well, you're gonna die now. And speaking of dying now, our entire field just went kaboom. You didn't get a great view of it. You did get the side view, but I do enjoy when Electrode faints and its eyes just bug out like that. Very funny. Okay, so to do this, I'm going to have to get both Pokemon on there because Psyduck probably has Damp. And by probably, I think maybe Psyduck literally can only have Damp, right? No, it can have Cloud 9. Did that even exist in Gen 3? It sure did. So I'm banking on that being the trick here, that because the Damp ability prevents any Pokemon on the field from self-destructing. I'm going to operate here under the assumption that that's how we're supposed to do this. Just Surf and Swift. Unfortunately, Xatu is opening with Future Sight, so that shit is all RNG. That's slightly more painful. I was about to say, that did absolutely just, like, stone nothing, basically, and then not quite. But let's take down Electrode, because Psyduck is currently on our side for now, basically. You know, metaphorically. Yeah, see, there we go. That's a much better perspective of it. Just incredibly goofy. Meanwhile, Psyduck is pissing everywhere, because it knows what's coming next. That's right, Psyduck. This goofy little furry thing is out for your blood, apparently. Ooh, a timer ball. That's kind of nice, actually. Those are useful occasionally. Hey, survive big booms. All right, what are we dealing with here other than a shuckle apparently? That's right. Don't fuckle with shuckle or something. I don't know. Seen an interesting array of stuff. Linoon and Zam to start with here. Let's take a look at what our team is rocking here. Yeah, we got like all normal moves. And Zam, as usual, this thing hits like a truck. Ice Punch protects Psychic Trick. Oh, yeah, the rest of the team, right. Dusclops is looking like it does all this stuff. Mean Look, Imprison, Ice Beam, Protect. No, shit. Don't do that. And Aggron, what are you carrying? Well, you got Aggron stats. You've got Mimic, Counter, Protect, and Double Edge. Yeah, Shuckle seems like it might be a bit of a problem, but I think there's a possibility that we can do something about it. Let's Protect to scout what our opponent is doing this turn, because we are admittedly a little bit on the glassy side here. Yeah, see, that turned out to be the play. Okay, so Shedinja. I'm not exactly sure how we're going to deal with this, but I'm thinking that we need Aggron out here to do some work. And Zam, you don't even have an item, so I don't think Trick is going to do anything, but let's try it anyway. Yeah, I don't know why Zam's spoons are that big. That seems a little bit overkill. Let's see if we can steal an item from this thing, maybe. Oh, it's just going to protect. Okay. That works. Shadow Ball. Ouch. That's quite painful, but now that we know that it's got Shadow Ball, I'm going to send Dusclops out to continue to bait Shadow Ball. Or perhaps even a ghost move from Gengar, for that matter. And we're going to Mimic. If Gengar has one, it will do that much sooner. Dusclops, Protect. Just be wielding a single giant spoon. I mean, I'd be okay with that. Oh, you what? What do you mean Gengar can use Explosion? What? You're kidding me, right? What the fuck? I don't think we're gonna make this. We're not gonna make the deadline, I don't think, guys. That was completely unexpected. All right, whatever. Shedinja, give me your balls. Let's do this. Let's. Do only 9 damage to Shuckle. Jeez, that's rough. Well, Shedinja, congratulations on being the fastest person on the field right now, because... yeah. You truly are the fastest fellow on the field right now. All right, so we just Shadow Ball, and I think we're out of time for this, because this is a timed match, isn't it? I do have a thing up over here to be like, hey, what are we dealing with? It doesn't give me the full strategy, it just tells me the parties, but... yeah, okay, so I guess Gengar uses Explosion. Keep in mind that I'm not also looking very closely at any of that information either. So technically I have like half of a guide, but yeah, defeat the Shuckle by using counter. That's basically what I thought. Two members of Team Rocket as its weapons. I mean, that's not the goofiest idea at this point. So... okay. Linoon. Swap to Aggron. And Zam Protect. Yeah, that did like no damage. Because for some reason, Gengar has actual physical attack, which is kind of fucked up. But okay. And Gengar is using Protect. Fudge. And Zam has bit the dust. That's unfortunate. So... I guess we'll put out Dusclops. And... now what happens is Gengar uses Protect. Gengar uses Explosion this turn, rather. Hit counter, and... I guess Dusclops can sit around and spam protect, because it's kind of going to be useless. So Gengar does that like meme pose that it does. And basically what should happen now is that Shedinja will be baited into attempting to use Shadow Ball on Dusclops. Meanwhile... Oh, you son of a... Ugh! That's not how that's supposed to work, you... You... God damn it. Okay, so... Reset. If this wasn't 5 turns, well... That'd be fine. So, I'm gonna take a bit of a guess here that the actual way to do this for the time being, we're just gonna pivot both Pokemon. I don't think this is actually going to do this the way I want it to, but we're giving it a shot anyway. Because apparently he'll use Shadow Ball on Zam, but he won't use it on Dusclops. Okay, yeah, Aggron can't switch. Who fucking cares, dude? That's not even what I'm about here. Okay. Swap into Zam, and you just click counter until it works. Hey, you see what I mean here? Hit protect, I guess, and hit counter. Because then it won't die, and it will continue to bait Shadow Ball. And yeah, see, that's a... Take off the RNG events, you dumb motherfuckers! Why would you do that? I can't use strategy if it's all a matter of luck. You can't have a puzzle game where it's a complete crapshoot. I mean, you can, but it's a bad idea. It's a really bad idea. It's just like everything in Pokemon, man. It's almost really cool. More like a crapshoot. Thank you, Roundy. That said, the thing about baiting Shadow Ball, as I was saying before, does actually work. Switch Linoon. Switch Dusclops. And that is not who I wanted to get targeted by that, but okay, maybe he will target the Shedinja. Probably not, but we can try to get that, or pardon me, target the Dusclops. But yeah, okay, he did. That's good. That actually allows us to mimic Shadow Ball, and now, assuming that he doesn't do anything weird, we should just be able to do this. And Gengar uses Explode, and then we just counter into that slot because Shuckle will be there. And apparently this works. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but okay. You son of a bitch. Well, ho ho ho, I can't do that if I just keep getting... Then, like, what is the goddamn point of even trying to use the supposed counter strategy? What did I do wrong here? Other than lose a coin flip, apparently. And now my only recourse is to just click these and hope that somehow I pull out 70 damage. I won't, because it's Shuckle, but... you know. So... okay, we're gonna try a slightly different tack here of put Alakazam up front here. Yeah, I mean, it does load quite quickly. I guess, or just pray. That's my other strategy, is just hope that it works. Because that's always fun to be like, yeah, I just gotta hope it works. Yeah, and see, that is kind of the play in this case, because otherwise Dusclops would have gotten trapped in. And that wouldn't be good. Now, I kind of got to burn a turn here, so I guess we'll throw a Psychic at Gengar, even though we know that it's protecting. Everything else is kind of like a little bit randomized. And yeah, there goes Zam, which is a bit of an issue because we don't know if there's going to actually be any getting baited by Shadow Ball here. But what do you mean? I thought I targeted the Shedinja. That's weird. And you know what? Sure, fire Ice Beam towards Gengar. Now, if this thing wasn't slower than... If this thing wasn't slower than Shedinja somehow, which kind of bothers me, but okay, then it'd be more of a guarantee. And yeah, there goes our free counter. What do you want me to do, game? Genuinely. Am I supposed to try to off the Gengar turn 1? Because I could probably try to do that. Oh yeah, I don't even have Shadow Ball mimicked because I somehow did my inputs wrong. All right, well, we're going to try to do that. We're going to try to kill Gengar turn 1. Yeah. We should be, like, about the same speed. Or possibly even a little bit faster because Zam is kind of disgusting. Alakazam, one of the small number of Gen 1 Pokemon that I think is still considered to be powerful. Because the game has been so severely power crept in more recent years. Big Zam. Yeah, Tev, I made a Big Zam joke about Alakazam before. Remember that picture I drew for you? That paint picture? And it was just like drawing Alakazam's mustache on Big Zam. Alright, so Linoon is of no real use to us. Let's substitute you for Agron, and I'm going to pronounce it that way for some reason. And just go for a Psychic on Gengar. on Jengar, as you might say if you're a very strange person. I heard someone make a gag about the pronunciation of Gengar's name and pronouncing it as Genjar, and I'm just like, that's too far. Now it just sounds offensive on some level, and we cannot do what I just was trying to do, because Alakazam is, of course, actually that weak. I should have known. I should have known. Good to see that this entire party is as worthless as usual. Oh no, Dusclops can't escape now. Well, big whoop. This time we actually make sure that we target Shedinja with that. I'll, imprison, I guess. It truly does not matter because Dusclops is not at the front of our party, so we can't actually imprison Ninaluk, which would be useful. But, you know, LOL. So we got Shadow Ball, at least, so we can theoretically do that. Counter, protect. And you explode. You explode. Aggron takes a surprising amount of damage. And you... it's a good thing I didn't click... I was gonna say, it's a good thing I didn't click counter. I did click counter, and that's the problem. Okay. So, here we go. Here we go. I should just have Shadow Balled in the first place, I guess. And then I get to try to do absolutely nothing of value to Shuckle for the next, like, however long, because it's going to bide, I guess. And that's my only other counter option, truly, is counter bide, I guess. That seems really stupid to me, but okay. Oh, right, it's going to safeguard as soon as it drops because of reasons. Yeah, so, like, what am I supposed to do about this? Other than, I guess, just make sure that Zam is not on the field and it arrives at other points. So, you know, the tip that it wants to give me is kind of worthless, actually. Come to think of it, like, yeah, fat lot of good any of that does me. Now, what did Linoon have? It had all normal moves, which are kind of worthless in this fight. It has Protect, which, I mean, that's not really very helpful to us right now, so... Let's try to headbutt the electrode. Protect. I guess I can try to keep Zam alive to do this. That's an option of a sort. All right, so Aggron comes down. And you use Mean Look, and Alakazam doesn't care. We use Mimic on Shedinja. And we swap Zam out for Dusclops. I'm thinking what they want us to do is something more like counter bide or something, which is pretty stupid, but it wouldn't really be the dumbest thing that I've seen any of these ever try to tell me to do, so... We'll yoink that. And Shadow Ball Shedinja. Ice Beam into the Gengar position there. Yeah, see, even with a crit, we should live that just because we're at full HP right now. So yeah, Dusclops might not get a chance to act, but I don't know for sure. Because Shedinja just seems to target whatever with Shadow Ball. It would be a hell of a lot more convenient if it would actually attack the one that I'm trying to get it to, but, you know, jacking off motions. Anyway, we do get to Chip Shuckle, which is... It's kind of nice to be able to just start off by taking off 10 HP from it. 9 HP, pardon me. Because of bad luck. Well, Shadow Ball time and pivot to Zam. And it's at 42. That's kind of a shock. It rested. Really? And then it woke up. Well, that's great. Unfortunately, it's still kind of worthless. I'm gonna hit it with Psychic. Come on, do some good damage here. Wow, gee, if it hadn't RNG'd into rest, we would have had this. You know what? I want a solution for this because this is some bullshit. Like, we're just getting a lot of, like, what do you mean? How am I supposed to use counter on this thing? It doesn't have any physical moves. It has Bide. I don't think you can counter that. Am I actually supposed to just luck into getting this thing, this stupid pissant ghost bug to be like, oh yeah, by the way, having fun yet? No, that's not a thing we're allowed to do on this web zone. Don't be ridiculous. Okay, yeah, we'll switch Dusclops in there, because I think it might actually favor targeting the second slot with Mean Look. Possibly. I'm guessing. And really, a guess is all I've got here, so yeah. Alright, we take the, like, 0 explosion damage. Yeah, Aggron can't move, which is fine. Excuse me if any noise got through there. Switch Zam, and it will probably get Shadow Balled and just die instantly, but we'll find out in a second. Okay, so on the other hand, with Zam on the field, Shedinsha loves to target Alakazam for Shadow Ball. So we should actually be safe to do this, assuming it actually works this way, which I don't think it does, but we're about to find out. We're about to find out. At least in theory, we're about to find out. We could just get completely fucked. Yep, eat me. And yeah. Okay, so now that I know that that is actually how it works, and what I was thinking the whole time, so say that you don't know this, with or without the hint, how in God's name are you supposed to figure out that that works? It's complete nonsense. Honestly, I even decided to go look some shit up on Bulbapedia here, and here is what it says about Generation 3 counter. Counter now is a priority of -5, who cares? In double battles, counter will hit the last opponent that dealt physical damage to the attacker. Counter cannot affect allied Pokemon, blah, blah, blah. But the last Pokemon who dealt physical damage to Aggron is not there anymore. So by this wording on this website, shouldn't it fail? Just out of hand, shouldn't it fail because the Pokemon isn't there? There definitely needs to be something that says there, like, oh yeah, the target's the position that it's in or something. But you know, that's just me complaining about bad writing on Bulbapedia for a second here. In general, this is like actually, and some of these have really thrown me off. Even once you get past all of the RNG involved here, and honestly, I don't truly think that it was clear that the Gengar always uses Mean Look on the second position. That did not seem to be the case. This still is honestly probably the most bizarre out of any of these battles that we've had yet. This is a certain level, I think, where it gets into, like, this stops making sense, actually. But I guess that's Pokemon battling for you. That certain things about that are just that completely and utterly fucked that... There you go. Well, we got through there, so... yeah. That is weird and kind of horrible, but at least we get a revive for it as opposed to something useful. I think at that point, that might be worth, like, a... it might be worth a Master Ball, or at least an Ultra Ball. But I think that's all of our battle CDs now. Once again, eating up another hour and a half of our stream time on those. So that's... well, maybe that's my fault for not understanding how some of these work, but hey. I wasn't always piecing together that some of those were going to specific places, maybe because I kept switching what Pokemon I put where. So now that we've done that, I'm actually going to head back to Pyrite Town. Because... I could use a little bit of EXP for my team. We're going to try and go into the arena here and see if there's still more challenges left, because... yeah, Snaddle apparently hits kind of hard. Despite the fact that he's literally got a name as stupid as Snaddle. Like, man. Whatever you do with the grunts and the random trainers, I don't care, but I think naming your big bad admins in the same way of just, like, random letter mashups, with the exception of the main villain, because, you know, they named the guy Greevil, which is actually quite good for an overtly sinister, you know, villain. Like, actually, all of the top admins of Cypher tend to be pretty well named. In Coliseum, you had Nazgour and Evice as the final bosses. And those are, like, really on the nose, but also... even with that, that's still kind of good. You know, it wouldn't be the first time that they've had, like, ridiculously on-the-nose naming conventions for any of these dudes, right? Yes, this place is called Pyrite Town. This is the sort of den of thieves and nasty boys. Maybe it's because it's a mining town, so there's at least part of them that's like, oh yeah, iron sulfide, right? Chemically, iron sulfide is quite useful. Which, pyrite is an iron sulfide mineral, so, yeah, just to close the circle on that in case anybody wasn't clear that I'm not just saying that for no good reason. It wouldn't be the weirdest thing I've ever said for no good reason, but, you know, that's useful stuff, but it is probably best known to the average person as Fool's Gold. Which does also make sense for this, you know, wretched hive of scum and villainy that we're in here. I'd say, and to think, we're not even in America, but my understanding is that ore is supposed to be based on, like, Arizona. Excuse me. Haha. Nerd. Nerd bird. This guy's got huge hands, by the way. I mean, we've seen this model before, but still. Dude, my hands are huge. Huge gloves, yeah. That's right. His gloves make up half his body weight. Wait. They're strong bad. How do you type with boxing gloves on? Wait. I'm not even remotely getting near the voice, but who cares? None of you are here looking for that out of me, I'm sure. This absolutely ridiculous set of sunglasses and hair is a fashion choice, all right. Then again, pretty much everyone in this game has been, like, ridiculous and horrible fashion. This music is pretty good. Oh, this thing. Apom, why would you have that? That's terrible Pokemon. And here we are, on to the last round. I bet these Pokemon are also going to be level 20. Or at least quite close. Sure, dude. That possibility doesn't exist. I'm going to give you the biggest swirly when I win, dude. You are not even prepared for the level of swirly you're going to get out of this one, champ. Oh, hey, Snubbull. And Larvitar. It's probably going to take a couple of turns for us to break through these because... Oh, yeah, especially if I miss. Ugh. I'm surprised that Snubbull went down in one turn, even with the fact that we're 6 levels over it, because You know, Thundershock. Ugh. Ah, Sandstorm. Gross. Gross. It's alright. Carvana's not using that HP for anything. The only HP stat that matters for Carvana is the last one, and it only has 2. So, no big deal. Wants to learn Cotton Spore? No. You don't need something to cut an opponent's speed in half. Don't be ridiculous. Alright, and here's Bacon. Bagon. Bacon? Wait, no, that's very ridiculous. Remember when everyone was obsessed with Bacon? I mean, not that people have suddenly, like, started to dislike Bacon or anything, but... And not that people are probably not still a little bit obsessed with it, but... You compare that to years ago, when there were all the weird people who were, like, making it their entire personality. I mean, come on, it's just pig flesh, come on. Granted, I bet there was also a bunch of dudes who were, like, super into Bacon because of, you know, because of Muslim taboos about pork. Wow, who could imagine Americans are really racist? Anyway, we defeated this absolute clown show of a man here. That's right. Give me your lunch money. And by your lunch money, I mean your, like, 400 total experience. Wow, TM5. I bet that doesn't actually do much for us. Let's take a quick peek here. Oh, yeah, it's Roar. That's right. And we got Taunt, Torment. The only good TM we got out of that entire run of things was Brick Break. Are you for real right now? I wonder if there's some sort of RNG attached to this. This place and its saxophone and its battle music, or background music rather. I mean, this would be fun battle music too, but I digress. God, this guy is much lower level than I thought. This isn't worth doing. I just should go back to the arena. I wanted to baby Teddy Ursa up to 30 because then I could swap it out of the front line by going for just fighting these dudes. Yeah, do that. No, not Metal Claw. Return, yeah. I could probably have done that against the Swine Oven. It would have done more damage, but oh well. There we go. And Teddy Ursa is at level 30. That is excellent. Hooray! Teddy Ursa is evolving. Your Teddy Ursa evolved into Cocaine Bear. Well, prototype Cocaine Bear, anyway. And you've still got an item. You got the King's Rock. Motherfucker, where did you get a goddamn King's Rock? Come on, dude. That is ridiculous. That's actually really good, though, but ridiculous nevertheless. That's insane. I'm actually going to go take a look, because the odds on that on pickup have to be just dog garbage. Right? Let's find out. Yeah, so assuming that it's the same chart as Coliseum, or in fact, for that matter, if it's the same chart as Emerald, I had a 1% chance to get that King's Rock. And I appear to have gotten it on literally Lich Rally, the last level where I could have gotten it. That is incredible. Wish I could have used that luck on, like, a lottery ticket or something, but, you know. All right, let's go in here and go kick someone's ass. My dog is hungry and needs EXP points to live. Kick your own ass. That's not worth it. That's not worth EXP points, though. And yes, I keep saying EXP points because I feel like that would bother people. Technically, EXP is short for experience, so it's correct to say, but, like, very few people say that. Like, they'll say EXP, they'll say experience. They won't say EXP points anymore, right? And that's entirely fair. And still do XP. I mean, that's also fair. You just have another Pichu. You just have another Pichu for some reason. Get a load of this, Dorcas. A golden trio, huh, dude? Are all of them yellow? Oh no, I think this dude just has the 3 Johto starters. That I don't think we get in this game. And of course, we get burned for maximum rudeness. Oh well. Means that Thundershock is definitely our preferred damage source. Because that, like, cuts our attack power in half, basically, getting burned. Now, even though we're pretty much guaranteed to get away with getting a kill here, we're using Feint Attack instead of Ember because, I mean, every fire type has Flash Fire as an ability, basically, so it's not literal, but still. This is pretty easy. Shame nothing to use on Dark type, but that's fine. Nice and easy. Thank you very much, game. Meanwhile, this is also not going to be very difficult, surely. Until we find out otherwise. Yeah, shockingly, that Plusle didn't die instantly. Well, I guess the Snowball surviving is a little bit more sensible, but... Anyway, we should be done with this in just a second. Wow, that thing took 3 attacks. That's bizarre. The fact that I had to hit this mine on 3 times. Are you sure I didn't get, like, nerfed even harder than I thought from just... Like, it couldn't have just been Intimidate then, right? Because there's no way that thing is that defensively capable. Come on, dude. I think you're lying to me, game. Be the first time, really, but hey. We get some money out of the deal. And we'll heal. And I guess we're gonna go and try taking on the boss now. Go deal with that guy that sucks. My eye on the wrong screen. I hate it when that happens. This is one of the problems with having multiple monitors, is I get sidetracked very easily. Well, let's go ahead and save here, even though I'm probably just going to continue even if I do die. Wow, registering to... Well, I guess it has been like 2 hours. Okay, so is it just this guy and I don't have to fight his crony? Yeah, no, I just skipped straight to Snettle. Okay. Oh, right, I forgot he leads off with 2 water types. And they're also, like, the worst water types for me to be facing at this particular juncture. Oh, shit. Wrong Pokemon to switch out. I mean... Listen, Flaffy isn't really a good Pokemon to use in this fight either, but... compared to Houndoom, Houndoom is definitely the worst option out of the two. Yeah, Rock Tomb, I guess that exists. Reduce my speed, which is not really the biggest of my concerns at the moment. Although it did somehow make Quagsire the fastest thing on the board. I don't know how that happens, but hey, here we are. I guess I should try focusing down the other thing. Well, Spheal is dead. That was not necessarily my smartest switch choice anyway, so bring in Ursaring to do some heavy lifting here. It's the fastest thing in play now. Of course it is. And it gives Quagsire a hell of a punch. Ooh, I'll give you such a pinch. And we get this guy. Oh, what? It went back to him? I thought because we failed to catch it that it was going to be held by Mirror B. So this guy basically just stole our balls, huh? Okay. All right, let's T-wave that thing and... Here, you know what, Ursaring? Kick the shit out of this weird fish real quick. Because I have a feeling that Ursaring's return can do enough damage to kill this thing. Yeah. Lantern is kind of stout, but on the other hand, Ursaring, like... Ursaring hits as hard as you would expect a big grizzly bear to hit. You know? Well, Flaffy has done its job, so as much as I don't particularly want it to die, I'm less attached to its survival here than I am Ursaring, who does kind of need to be our DPS. Ursaring is kind of like position 1 for this team. I've never played Pokemon Unite. I don't even know if Ursaring is available in that. And quite frankly, I don't care. Okay, Ursaring, you have Feint Attack, so... You know what, I'm not going to lie here, folks. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm going to actually go ahead and I'm going to chunk Lunatone and hope that I don't kill it. I probably won't kill it. Its Metang isn't going down from Feint Attack, but... That actually does neutral damage, unlike Ursaring's other thing, which may still actually hit harder for all I know. Yeah, this Lunatone is going to cause me a few issues with it. Right, because here comes the nasty part, because it shits out shadow waves for, like, huge damage. I think... I was going to say, I think Flaffy is donezo. Oddly enough, no. Flaffy is still alive. Well... Here, go ahead and shock the Lunatone again, and Ursaring, let's see how much damage you do with return. Oh god, yeah, that's way more powerful. And yeah, Flaffy is now dead, unfortunately. I could have switched Houndoom in and it wouldn't have taken damage. But, ugh. Oh god, Lunatone, I need you to stop doing Shadow Wave. Ow. That's not great. At least Metang is taking it. Gonna get chunked for this. I guess I can probably land a return into Lunatone and it shouldn't die. Meanwhile, yeah, Houndoom, go ahead and blowtorch Metang down a little bit here. Well, that was deeply unfortunate, and Baltoy can't even get experience out of this, even though it's coming up now. Well, there we go. Much easier fight this time. Surely I've bought Gorgon and... God, these names again. Yeesh. They're really dumb. Well, okay, I guess we managed to see him get humiliated. This is where we find out that this kid didn't have a tape in the camera whatsoever, huh? Do we at least get the key that we need here? There we go. Yeah, blinked into existence. What if we'd been standing on, like, the left side of the rocket agent when we defeated him? Would the item ball for the key just appear underneath us? Anyway, before I go and unlock the basement of Pyrite, wow, okay, of the gym, I am going to go back to the Pokemon Center and heal. I'm just healing just in case we get ambushed by some dude. I know at this point this game can be like that at times. Oh, is that not what we do with this? Elevator key. Do I have to go use it somewhere else? Might be up at the control panel for all I know. Yeah, okay. I just hadn't seen that before. Yeah, we've got some bad news. Some horrible shit is going on here. But we're good to go. Yeah, I guess we need the phone number of the one gym leader in the entire region. Something in the desert around there, huh? Ask around for details from people in the city? Excuse me. Gonna run a daycare. That could be kind of useful, actually. Yeah. You're really focused on the wrong thing here. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, why did they ignore you? Okay, with all that, I'll be right back. So do any of you ever get notifications from various e-commerce websites and they tell you that, oh, when your thing gets sent out to be shipped, and they say your package is with the carrier and arriving on time, or any other thing where they say something about, oh, it's arriving on time, then they give you scheduling for it. And I'm just sort of like, yeah, of course it is so far. I understand sometimes you gotta tell me about a delay, but if you're not saying anything about that, I don't know. Especially if you say it very early on in the delivery process, it's like, well, you can just kind of set that by saying when you think it will be there on some level. Like, what, do you expect me to believe that it's late at the exact beginning of the delivery process? And if someone does think that, they're a little impatient. I don't know. Anyway, that's because I just got a notification for one of the things that I got a return for that mini PC I attempted to buy earlier this year because the person just straight up did not send it whatsoever. Anyway, we cannot progress. Does anybody know where I can get, like, better wheels? Yeah, you gotta... Have you got a tank or something? Locate a missing Pokemon. It was missing... Among those missing with the SS Libra. Okay. Well... this location is currently off limits to us for the time being. So, let's go and handle this other presumable side quest. Anyway, yeah, so one of the things that I ordered was... I just got a notification from eBay. And it's different, but I seem to recall having seen a version of that before where it's like, oh yeah, it's with the carrier and it's arriving on time. Or maybe I'm just blendering a bunch of things together in my brain. That could always be the case. And I was gonna say, and they're gonna do it. You're gonna make them not get past you with that noise. Okay, dude. Oh, you're not the person who's missing a Pokemon, I guess. Time to go scan around the area. Do I just have to go up to the office? Sure, go ahead and do that. What a strange thing to want to do. Razzle Dazzle and Candy. Gotcha. I mean, that's not really gonna work as a song because of the lyrical thing and matching to a beat. Good luck with that. Yeah, are you gonna at least be able to show them that fucking Dorcas is named Snaddle and he got his ass whooped? That might be arguably the more important part of, like, show him being humiliated, but also anything to show that the guy's name is Snaddle, which is completely ridiculous. It could be normal in this part of the world, but these names are just kind of bizarre, so I don't believe that. I think they just kind of pulled the letters for a lot of these names out of nowhere and only occasionally ended up with real names. Except for Anka, who they clearly chose the name of specifically. Because someone was like, what do we call our news anchor? And of course there's Pofty, what a terrible name. Even among the names in this game, that is a choice. And he's telling us to get out. Get out! Wait. What's the deal? Yeah, I was there. Survival in the paperless era. That might be a useful thing to know about, actually. What's our current lineup looking like? This is fine, actually, I think. It's not the greatest, but it'll do. In terms of our frontliners. We should be okay with this. Alright, kid, how can we help you? Yeah, what's up? Oh, what? That's weird. Yeah, I've heard about that at least once. Okay. You think it's a new species of Pokemon? It's named Bonsly. Yeah, for some reason, and I don't know why this is, they had Bonsly in here as a preview of Gen 4. I mean, I guess why not, but still. Oh, hey, we gotta go and contact that Purr guy. Okay. We know where he's at. He's at Gadion Port, right? The answer to that is until he got kidnapped or something. I don't know. Assuming he has been. But even then, we would have to go and visit him to find out. Let's do this. Let's go and talk to this guy and probably get told I have to go somewhere else, right? PC parts, huh? Oh boy, this place is going to be rolling in it pretty soon because of the RAM shortages. Oh. Dang it, where is he? That doesn't seem to show any of our Pokemon, but okay. Well. Oh, he's at Kaminko's. Okay. Let's go over there. I don't like that one guy, so... Oh, hey. It's these guys again. How unusual to see them here. I'm sure there's nothing suspicious or important about that at all. Excuse me. Oh yeah, this frickin' goblin again. Buddy! Do you not know who I am already? You mention another, so like, come on. I'm prepared to humiliate you again, you little weasel man. Oh boy, a Gyarados. That's probably not going to live through this. And a Sunkern. You really do not have good Pokemon, dude. You could at least have evolved this thing, but I digress. Yeah, Gyarados outspeeding the world's slowest electric type. Fortunately, I didn't get the kill. Oh well. Which is kind of a shock, but it is decently leveled, so maybe that's a little more sensible in that case. Oh, good. I'm glad you lost. Get the hell out of here, you. Yeah, and do you not know about who we are either, Doc? And his ridiculous hair? Pennywise? Okay. Hey, didn't you just see me on television? Sweet. Robo-Groudon. I'm surely fine. Oh yeah, especially because this fucking loser is piloting it. I'm pretty sure we're fine. Like... Yeah, okay, give this guy, like, the strongest weapon you've ever possibly imagined. And he will still find a way to lose this fight. They're giving us boss music for this because they think they're funny. As he opens with Sunflora and Gyarados. Ooh, slightly more threatening. Ew. Yeah, Sunflora. Yeah, I'm sure that's a... That's not a Pokemon that impresses me in any real way. I wish we hit a little harder, but whatever. That flinch is rather unfortunate, though. Bad move, idiot! Using your strong sunlight there. Now, if Gyarados has any water moves, they're not going to do as much damage, and Sunflora is just straight up guaranteed to die now. I mean, it practically was to begin with, but oh boy. Get turned into dust. And while Hoppip will probably outspeed Houndoom in sunlight, or in fact just in general, I think that's still basically a free kill for us. Yo, that crit was pretty good. Tropius. That's a Pokemon that's a little bit more on the slightly frustrating to deal with side, but I'm going to take out this Hoppip just to make sure that it literally can't do anything that it would want to do with its speed. Not that I think Hoppip actually has moves, to be fair, but think of it as targets of opportunity. Well, thankfully, Flaffy didn't flinch there. But also, yeah, that Tropius is not going to have a good time either. It's not like... I don't think it even gets Chlorophyll, so it's not fast enough to beat out Houndoom. So, yeah, that sunny day was such a waste of your time, dude. Rip to this guy, but I'm built different. Unfortunately, we did get flinched, so we don't get the kill this turn, but that's fine. Whatever, this really pathetic boss fight lasted one turn longer than it was supposed to. Good flinch luck on that guy, I guess, but... Flaffy is at level 30, which is a pretty important breakpoint for us. Other than the fact that it means, hey, we brought another Pokemon up to level 30. Wants to learn Bite. So, Bite is marginally stronger than Feint Attack. No, it's not, actually. Never mind. It just causes flinching. And ignoring accuracy checks, not really the most important thing, to be honest with you, so I'm okay with doing that. Oh, I'm hoping this thing, like, falls apart and buries him alive. Oh, I will happily replace Thunder Shock with Thunder Punch. Chobin, you dumb bitch. Oh my god. And Kaminko, you're as much of a fucking moron as this guy is, too. The Robo Kyogre. Why were you doing that in the first place? What a load of absolute clowns. Well, I don't want to, but okay, fine. I guess. I think I object to Kamiko calling us acquaintances anyway. Like, sheesh, man. Oh, we can go in there now, finally. Cool. Oh, hey, look, it's parts of a Robo-Kyogre for some reason. Why were you even doing this, dude? I don't get it. It's incredibly stupid. We'll switch Spheal up to the front, and you know what? We'll switch Baltoy up there, too. Hey, you. You're the guy I'm looking for, Macon? It's not... It doesn't look finished, dude, so... Eh. Yeah, no, they did not fold entirely, so... Back we go. So now we've got a hover scooter, apparently. A Hoover scooter. Wait. No, that's just silly. Anything going on over here? Oh, right. This is this house. Well, okay, you go ahead and do that. I was looking to see if there was a Pokemon Center around here, but I can just go back to Agate Village and heal there. Unless this is it and I'm dumb. It's not, and I'm dumb. But for other reasons. I was a little afraid of an ambush, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, so now that we've got our hover scooter here, which makes a horrible noise, by the way, we should be able to cross the desert and get over to this wrecked ship. Wow, another game with a wrecked ship. Gee, I wonder if we're going to play one of those tomorrow, too. Well, let's take a look around this place and see if we can pick up any items. Not like that, we can't. Wow, there's really not a lot of area to explore around this thing. That's fine, I just was hopeful there'd be more zone to explore here. Oh, cool. Well, let's take a little bit of a poke around in here, and... I like that the box is labeled Poke Food. I think the way it's just so, like, generic, and yet it's styled up like a logo. There's something very funny about that to me. Okay, good. We can drop off of these levels to get to the item, so... That's fantastic. Found 1 iron. Well, we can technically say that we started this place, but now that I know that the pre-gym is back up and running, let's go see... let's go give that place a little challenge and see what kind of levels we're running into over there. Again, it couldn't hurt to shore up some more EXP. We could get ourselves a good amount of progress, actually. Oh, I thought it was going to be that I have to go down in the basement. But no, they're coming upstairs to fight me. Well, I am not threatened by this at all, so that's nice. Meanwhile, just chuck rocks at the ladybug. It will not like that one bit. Yeah, an incredibly fragile Pokemon, as I think we've discussed already. Bellossom, though, that's quite a step up, actually. That is a much stronger Pokemon, and not a great thing to see us have switch into us, because a grass type, and I think that thing is a little bit on the more on the specially defensive side. Let's put all of our power into trying to eliminate that thing as fast as possible. Yeah, see, Psybeam doesn't do a whole lot of anything to it. I mean, even if it's just using Absorb, I don't particularly like that too much here. Ouch! Yeah, especially not on a crit like that. Eesh. That's kind of awful. Psywave. Good job actually rolling above your level in damage on Psywave, guy. What a great use of your resources. We'll switch Flareon in, because that's a Pokemon that needs experience more than Houndoom does. At least a little bit more. Yeah, that thing became an immediate problem as soon as it appeared, so that's not great. Do I get to pause to heal between battles, or no? This is like actual... Yeah, this is an actual, just serious, straightforward 4 in a row. I'm definitely not getting heals between these. That much is absolutely certain, isn't it? Yeah, we're dropping back in here with our no heal receiving. Oh, you're doing this. That's not great. Well, at least we didn't do a ton of damage, though. I probably should have just, like, shoved everything toward that Sunflora. But the confusion might help. Oh, you're doing double team with both Pokemon, aren't you? I hate this. I do not like that. Good. I'm glad. I'm happy about this. This isn't terrible or anything. Fuck's sakes. Of course, the attack that I wanted to hit more was the one that missed. Just by nature, right? Well, good. We pierced through that. We missed the Psybeam, though, didn't we? I'm pretty sure we did. And you've got a Linoon as your last Pokemon. That's a little unfortunate. I'll switch Spheal out and put in Flareon. And just go ahead and keep Psybeaming. Are you kidding me? 3 in a row. Also, I actually... Wow. Well... Oh, Linoon was targeted instead. I was going to say, all of those accuracy checks haven't really mattered, so at least there's that going for us, but... You know what, just keep slamming everything into Linoon. And we'll see how we do. All right, come on, hit yourself. No. Hit yourself. Finally. That was like 4 actions in a row where confused Pokemon did not hit themselves. I would never get that kind of RNG. Like, get the fuck out of here with that game. At least all this guy seems to be doing is spamming Double Team. Even with some decently threatening looking Pokemon. So, although his team is annoying, it still seems to be a free battle, basically. So, I'll gladly accept that. All right, let's see what this guy's got on tap for us. You got Kecleon and Azumarill as your leads here. Not exactly an ideal set for us to be dealing with these guys, but let me try to think this through for a second. Because I can do some good damage to Kecleon, provided we have no deaths this turn. By doing this, and we debuff its accuracy. Yeah, Kecleon turned to ground type, and his Azumarill is using Double Team, because, quite frankly, of course it is. And so is his Kecleon. Let's try doing this again. Now things are going to get very unreliable, but we can continue to exploit Kecleon because it's a very easy Pokemon to exploit. Yeah, unfortunately, our time was up on that one, huh? It is to be expected. But we'll try to land Mud Slap on Kecleon, because that'll be super effective now, and down you go. So now you've got another Pokemon starting from 0 in this department on the switch in. Which means that really I should have just targeted the other spot, but I wasn't thinking about that. I wanted to try to chunk this Azumarill and make a little bit of progress there, but hey, we actually got through the accuracy BS. That's cool. Yes, we paralyzed it. That may very well be the end of the road for you, Chucklehead. Of course, this Yanma is also doing Double Team because, yeah. Thankfully, Baltoy is not amused whatsoever. And just gave it a really bad time with some free rocks. But man, what a tedious set of fights here. Oh, look at me. I can spam double team. Okay, sure, cool. What fun this makes the game, you know? It's a little bit blah, you might say. If you were being polite about it for some reason. Could you just land the hits, please? Or did my luck run out here? Okay, now you're actually attacking. Well, that's Baltoy probably only probably, though. Which is great, because I would rather it not die. Meanwhile, Ursaring, you have Feint Attack, which is not going to be high damage, but we'll take it anyway. Unfortunately, it actually retargeted here and rips Feel. Yeah, sure, I'll put Flareon out. I thought about putting Baltoy back out to reduce the EXP split, but it's fine. Probably. Yeah, of course Flareon missed, but this won't, because it can't. Unfortunately, the damage is not great, as I said, but we'll take what we can get at this point. All right, so here is our second to last fight here before Justy. I hope he'll let us go heal, because otherwise I'll be a little sad. She's coming out here with Plusle and Minun. Because we got our Baltoy here, who is kind of near death. I should use a potion on that. Yeah, there we go. All right, old lady, let's see it. Are you also a double team spammer? The third that we fought here so far, and I think the first one was as well, but we kind of steamrolled, except for that Blossom. Yeah, like, I think the first is the only one who had real moves. Actually, come to think of it. Yeah, and you've got Absol as your last Pokemon, which could be a thing that has actual moves, but it won't be, so I digress. But, more importantly, it's paralyzed. So, I can take that thing to town here. With Thunder Punch, I guess. Yeah, and we miss, because, well, you know, a strategy of just spam double team, because that's really exciting, right? Literally, I didn't even have to heal Baltoy this fight if I didn't want to. And that is kind of pathetic. Hey, Retro. But I have a feeling that I'm not going to get to heal before Justy, so I will actually give Sfeel a revive. And I am expecting to use actual strategies as opposed to just, I'm going to sit here and double team for 6 turns. And then we're just going to throw everything all to luck. You know, the pinnacle of scrub strats, really. And technically it works. It certainly annoys me, so... You know, as a time waster, okay. But also, now you can kind of see why this is banned on Smogon. Meanwhile, in official Pokemon competitive, in VGC, i.e. doubles, they don't care about this. And part of that, of course, is because setup sweeping and stuff in official competitive is not really as good. Like, there are some Pokemon that can set up in VGC, but usually because there's 2 Pokemon on the field, that's not such a good idea because you can get roasted for that very easily. Oh, I could have actually gone and healed, I guess. Well... I'm certainly not going to do that because I've already invested in this. And we got Cacnea and Sandslash up for our starters. Now, I think I just have to switch Baltoy out immediately because... Cacnea's a minor Also, he's level 29. All right. This could be a real challenge. Yeah, Cacnea could be a problem for Sfeel as well, but having the ice damage there is a little too good. Yeah, you see what I mean? He got us. And he's using Dig when we have a lot of things that are weak to ground moves. I don't like that. Now, if he, for some reason, decided to target where Flareon is, I'm gonna call shenanigans on that because, buddy, how would you have known? Yeah, I was gonna say Baltoy doesn't care about that because of Levitate. So now we take Cacnea out, and Baltoy gains a level, which is great, because Baltoy could definitely use the levels to get closer to evolving into Claydol, which is at level, like, 36, I think. It's gonna be a minute. That's the important part. Oh, hey, look at that! Look at that, he's using double T. We're speed tied, aren't we? Well, all right then. That is really cool, I guess. I'll switch Flareon out for Ursaring, who is the closest to a ground resist we have on the team other than Baltoy. And obviously this guy isn't stupid enough to target Baltoy with Dig again. That would just be embarrassing of a decision, really. Yeah, so Ursaring takes a a chunk of damage. And Ursaring is almost definitely slower than Baltoy, right? Let's take a look at this. Oh, no, it's faster. I don't know if it's going to be faster enough to match Sandslash, though. So we're just going to go all in on hitting Gligar. Oh, no, actually, I could have gone for the return on Sandslash, and that would have been like almost a surefire kill. And now Bro is doing this too, because you know, just using the same quote-unquote strategy on all of the Pokemon here. What fun. Oh wait, no, the other thing. Damn. We'll revive Spheal again, because it might come in handy. And the way this is going, it probably won't, but hey. Hear me out here on this one. Oh, you got Nose Pass. Okay, so Nose Pass is double weak to ground. No, it's Rock Ground, not Rock Steel, isn't it? Rock Steel is only for Probopass. Oh, that hurt. Shit. Baltoy may die this turn. Unless we get our accuracy debuff to actually help. Oh, this dude has no actual strategies. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. All right, Houndoom, come in and acquire experience. And I will use Return on Gligar. Oh, now you're using Dig as well, huh? Well, once again, since we just switched out Baltoy, Houndoom is safe. Houndoom is in a safe place. We're gonna be a little bit risky here, and we're gonna throw Metal Claw on Nose Pass. It's not likely to hit, but we'll try anyway. And excuse me. Yeah, I told you we were going gambling a little bit, but yeah. Houndoom is at least reasonably fast, so I can try to gamble by targeting Gligar, and we'll Feint Attack on Nose Pass and hope that we make it Feint Attack. Oh shit, Gligar is almost dead. And he's digging it, and unfortunately, Nose Pass is not quite dead yet. I just need one more hit. And thankfully, he's using the only attack less accurate than anything that I use on this dude, which is, of course, Rock Tomb. A move that hits occasionally if you ask nicely. And that's Nose Pass down. And we get that oh so fun three-way split experience. Ancient Power isn't really the most valuable thing that we've ever done. Unfortunately, I think... Yeah, Baltoy just died. That's a shame. Again, it could really use the experience. I have to give it more of a fighting chance at some point. I guess for now, we'll send out Sfeel. It could stand the EXP. Oh, cool. We won. Yay. Oh, yeah, the last time you had a battle with like this was the last time you battled a protagonist. Cool, we get a TM for double team. Wow, look at me doing the jacking off motion because, oh boy. Unlike this guy, I can use real tactics to win a fight. And by that, I mean just Unga Bunga ape noises. Let's heal after all of that, and then I'm gonna see if I have rare candies to distribute. I have one, at least. But maybe I have some more. And I could beef up at least one of my Pokemon. Okay, I only have one, but that's fine. I'll just feed it to Sfeel, who is the closest to evolution out of the two not fully evolved Pokemon on my team. And yeah, that is where we're going to sign out on this for now.